We're about to take you through our full body foam roll routine. Now, granted, there are plenty of other different spots, body parts that you can hit with the foam roller. We're going to show you some of our main ones and the main routine that we take athletes and clients of ours through when they first come into the facility. So you'll see in this case, I have this foam roller here. There's a ton of different options that you can use. You can even use tennis balls, lacrosse balls, bigger ball. There are plenty of things that you can use, but there's a couple principles that we should adhere to, or that we encourage people to adhere to. Well, first, do not roll into pain. If you have pain, do not roll yourself into it. We want to think of like a gentle, easy rolling as we go through. We're not trying to crush or damage the tissue at all. We're trying to think of a nice fluid roll through each specific body part. The second piece of that, don't just fly through it. Take your time getting from spot to spot. And oftentimes we encourage people to spend anywhere from 10 to 20, 25 seconds on each specific body part. So let's start. First place we always start with is calf. So again, I'll show you on one side. You'd obviously hit both sides, but let me show you here. So again, butt's on the ground. I'm using my other foot as kind of a little bit of leverage to help me push and get into that, but my butt's coming off the ground and I'm just making an easy roll from just below the knee to the top of that ankle. You can play around with toe rotating out. You can play around with toe in just to hit some different specific parts of that calf as you work to roll through that. Then from there, we'll go up to the hamstring. So foam roller will be underneath, just above the back of the knee, and I'm gonna roll just below that glute muscle. So same concept, hands work behind me, and I'm working to roll my way through. People ask all the time, can I roll on both legs at the same time? Sure, you totally can. Again, single leg we found adds a little bit more pressure, but again, don't roll into pain. Like I'll feel some of these spots, and that's what we often encourage people to think about is once you find your 2 to 3, maybe 4 that are like your big spots, spend your time and bulk your time there. Again, the goal is not to take your whole training session and make it on a foam roller. Foam roller is just a tool to help you play your best, right? Or perform your best, whatever it may be. So we've hit the hamstring, and I think you can take the same concept of toe out, toe in, toe straight, and play around with different spots. From there, we roll to the glute. So I'm on my right butt cheek. I like to think about crossing that leg over and then just making a nice, easy roll through there. Again, playing with some of those different positions as you go through. If that's too much, you can go legs down and make your roll happen that way. Spending your time there. From there, we then roll into the front side. So we're gonna hit that quad. So I like to think about, okay, plank position. So I got my elbows on the ground, my leg is bent. I'm rolling from just below that hip to the top of the knee, not rolling onto the actual joint. So as I'm here, I'm just making a nice, easy roll. And again, I can play with the position. So I'm on the outside of the thigh a little bit there. Then maybe I roll to the inner thigh as I work through some of that rolling. From there, we roll to truly the side of the thigh. So I like leg cross, hands are down on the ground, working through. This can have a tendency to be one of those like big ones that can fire people up. So again, use your hands to help take some weight. Like I don't have as much weight on the foam roller, whereas I'm down here, all my weight is on the foam roller. You can play with that to put you in the position that feels best. From there, we'll often take people to our last 2 upper body ones. So we have upper back. So I like to think from mid back to just below the neckline or right around the shoulder blade. So I'm lifting hips, hands work behind my head, and I'm making just an easy roll, rolling onto that left shoulder, left side, rolling onto the right. And what you can even do, where I like to go from here, is taking hands, giving yourself a big bear hug. That opens the shoulder blades up a little bit more, and then rolling onto that left, and then that right. And then from there, we work into like that big lat muscle that attached to that upper arm, goes to that upper back, or lower back, excuse me. So I like to think about this one as just below or just to the back of that armpit. This one's not as much rolling, but you got to play with this position a touch, arm straight, palm up, and you're just making just an easy roll through that side. And again, play with that a little bit. You can maybe lean a little bit farther back, a little further over, take some pressure off where you feel best. Obviously hit that on the other side. So there's our total body foam roll routine. Again, concepts: don't work into pain, don't smash the tissue and try to put yourself through, and see how much you can tolerate. Be easy, be gentle. Spend roughly 10 to 20 seconds on each body part. Give that a try, work through and find the key ones that make the biggest difference for you.